All right, hey guys, welcome back to another solo Sunday. Today we're going to be doing what I hope to have every Sunday this month of October is a kind of horror themed or something in that vein for Halloween. You guys know I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, and we're doing a lot of stuff centered around Halloween. This is my favorite time of the year. So we are going to be doing Aleph Null today. So if you guys don't know, Aleph Null is a single player only. Check the box. One player. And it's about summoning the goat, Baphomet. So we're going to be trying to summon Baphomet, the demon, goat demon looking guy. And this game is like a deck deconstruction. So the idea is that we have a deck of cards, and we are over the course of the game trying to dwindle that deck down and perform certain tasks in certain order. It'll become much more clear as the time goes on, but just to kind of give you a little bit of setup here, we've got this grimoire here, this book. This is going to be the thing that is going to be the timer of the game. Once it gets to the end, if we haven't summoned Baphomet by the end of it, we lose. These interference cards will come into play in a moment, and this is our deck. So we're going to draw 5 cards, but before we get started, we have different options of difficulty. We're just going to start with the easiest one, which is Circle of the Adept. Play with 3 random chosen level 1 and level 2 interference cards. Add one of them at the transition from hours 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 5. Now the hours are, we'll move hours when we run out of cards in the deck. So that's kind of what we're doing here. I'm going to move over it. So that's the difficulty we've chosen. I've got my selected random cards there. And we've got Sunset, the preparation of the operator. Having memorized what to say and do with my powers of will, I can do some witching too. It says commence the rituals of preparation at the end of the hour when the deck is depleted. Shuffle the discard pile and make a new deck. Turn the page. So we start the game with 5 cards, and basically what we're going to do is try to play stuff. And I'll put my hand down here and try to let me do this. I'll try to make this area where we play cards. So the cards that have 0 can be played for free, but then if they have a number there, it needs that much energy. And energy is played, as you can tell here, like you can scrap this card here to gain an energy, or scrap this card here to get energy. That just means this card. Sacrifice is to remove it from the deck entirely. So that's what we're going to be kind of doing to try to play cards, discard them, or sacrifice them to get other cards out. And there is a specific set of cards that we need to play in order to summon Baphomet. So when Baphomet comes up, we'll see the requirements, but the lodestone, I believe, is one of them. So we'll just kind of get into it. Another way we can lose the game is we take 3 damage. So these damage markers here. For us to get these damage markers, there's a card that will damage us, but there's also, if we use any energy on any given turn, and so if I play this, scrap it, and don't use the energy for this, I'll take a damage. And then these energy tokens come in play a little bit later. I'll kind of get into those at the end when they do come in play. At the end of our turn, whatever we don't play, we discard. So if we have it in our hand still, it goes to our discard pile. So let's take a look here. So the wax candle, which is kind of our basic card that'll provide us energy. We're going to play that so we can scrap it to gain an energy here. I think the nomenclature is energy. Nomenclature is not the right word. Magical power. Magical power, sorry. The vernacular is magical power. So we'll scrap that for magical power. If it's hours 4 or more, we're going to sacrifice instead of scrapping it, so we basically lose it. It's to help us kind of get out of the deck. And we're going to play this Wealthy Tanist. So again, 0 magical power. We can scrap it for energy, but if it ever is this symbol here that has this little cross, that means that if it's sacrifice, we get that ability. So if it says ever sacrifice, we get to draw 3 cards. I think I'm going to go ahead and scrap both of these to get the 2 energy to play the Salamander. So Salamander, we can scrap it to gain 2 energy or 2 magical power, or sacrifice to gain 3 magical power. And then we're going to end our turn. So I'm just going to discard both of these, and we'll draw up to 5. So here's Baphomet. And we can kind of see right here, Baphomet requires, it says to sacrifice the Book of Pax, the Wand of Power, in the Grand Circle. When summoned, sacrifice all their cards in play, preventing all sacrifice effects. Lose a point for each card sacrificed this way. The ritual is over. The Grand Circle's here. So we've got the Grand Circle, which is one of the cards that we need to, we're going to need to get get out here. So the Grand Circle, well, the Grand Circle, you need the lodestone to be, we need to summon via the lodestone. So the lodestone's on our discard pile, so we're not going to be able to get that out. So let's go ahead and play these 2 wax candles. We just got those 2 out here, and none of this stuff can be summoned because this golem needs a sacrifice of Tanist and pay 2 energy or magical power, and we have no Tanist out, so we're not going to be able to do that. So we're going to have to end our turn with those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have an interference. Octoi, I think that's how you say. So interference cards have to be summoned. If we can't summon them for any reason, we have to discard end our turn. So you can see here, it says you must summon this card if you have at least 1 magical power available to do so. If you cannot summon Octoi, then end this turn. So we're going to scrap one of these for a magical power and summon him. Now the nice thing is he doesn't do anything. Well, he's in our way. But the nice thing is that he's a Tanist, so we can use that to we can sacrifice him later to summon one of those other things that require a Tanist. We've got our bow line we're going to go ahead and play. Now that bow line, we would scrap it for a magical power or sacrifice for 2 magical power. But I think while we're at it, let's go ahead and we'll scrap both of those for another salamander. And I think we're going to end our turn. So we're going to play this wax candle. We also have this Mother Shipton, which is, again, scrap for a magical power, but when it's sacrificed, look at the top 2 cards of the deck, draw 1, discard 1, and sacrifice 1. Let's see. I think, yeah. So some of these cards, like the Bell, you can sacrifice the Bell, and then it would be name a non-key card. So key cards are ones that will say key up here. So you can name a non-key card and search the deck for it. But you'd have to kind of really know the deck, and I don't know it super well. Let's scrap this for an energy or magical power and play deck of cards. So deck of cards, when we can sacrifice it to draw a card and then discard 2 cards. So that may come in handy for us later. And I think let's scrap the salamander, which is the 2, for the mirror. So the mirror is the next time a card is sacrificed, sacrifice the mirror and copy the sacrifice effect, wait, it says the next time a card is sacrificed, sacrifice mirror and copy the sacrifice effect and/or the when sacrificed effect of the other card. So we're going to discard that and do our next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we do need the Book of Pacts. We do need that. And then we have the Wand of Power, which is going to come in handy because we need this. I think we need that. We need this for the ritual as well. I believe, what did it say? So for Baphomet, we need the Book of Pacts, we need the Wand of Power, and we need the Grand Circle. And the Grand Circle requires the Lodestone, and the Lodestone just requires 4. So those are the kind of components we need. So we can probably start trying to see if we can get some of this stuff pulled out here. Let's go ahead and sacrifice this to draw a card, and then we'll discard 2 cards. So for now, I'll discard the Wand of Power, and I'll discard the Chaseable. We're going to scrap both of these for the Book of Pacts. So we can scrap it to draw a card and gain an energy, but I'm going to hold it out here for a while. And I think that's all we're going to do this turn. So those are gone. We're going to draw 2. We run out of cards in the deck, so we have to turn the page. So now we're on the Curfew Bell. Now that the sun's veil, now that the sun has veiled his light, and did the world's good night, to the soft bed my body I dispose, but where shall my soul repose? It's hard to read that the text. At the end of this hour, when the deck is depleted, add an interference card to the discard pile, and then shuffle to make a new deck. Turn this page. So kind of the same thing this round. But yeah, as soon as the deck runs out, we turn the page. Okay, so let's draw back up to our hand size. Alright, So it's hour 2. We're going to get the wax candle out. We're going to play this Learn Tannist. And all the Tannists have that scrap for an energy. I know that I want this. Someone keep it over there. And we need to start sacrificing some Tannists. We have this one to sacrifice for us later, so we're going to probably use that one, but I don't know about the other ones. I think I'm going to scrap both of these to get out the salamander, and we're going to end our turn. Oh, I drew too many cards. Okay. So we're going to play Mother Shipton. We're going to play the Bowline. I'm going to kind of move these down a little bit. So the Wand of Power needs 3 Tannists to sacrifice. We've only got 2, so we can't do that. And the Lodestone. We could get the Lodestone out, which may be good. So let's do that. Let's scrap all this. So that's 4 to get the Lodestone out. So this is another piece that we need. It can be scrapped to draw a card or sacrificed and pay 6 magical power to summon the Grand Circle from our hand. So that's it. So this kind of, we can't really do a whole lot here because we can't play any of this stuff. We could play this, but we don't have the magical power because we could sacrifice Octoy to get the Golem out, and then the Golem prevents any damage except from the Wand of Power, which we don't have anyway. So I guess we got to end our turn on that, which is kind of a bummer because we didn't really get to do anything there. But, you know, it is what it is. So we're going to play that. We're going to play that. I think that's all we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we're run out, so we're going to take interference, shuffle. I kind of don't like the... there's probably a reason why the interference cards have their back the way they do, because you'll see it coming, but I kind of wish they were on the front maybe. I don't know. It's not a big deal. Okay. So we're going to turn the page. So it's midnight. The life's so short, the craft's so long to learn. This hour provides 1 magical power. At the end of this hour, when the deck is depleted, add an interference card from the discard pile and shuffle it to make a new deck, then turn the page. So this needs to be used by the end of the book, by the end of the hour. If not, we're going to take a damage. Okay, so we've got 3, and it's hour 3. So remember, at hour 4 and after, these get gone. So I'm going to probably try to use these so I can play some stuff. So actually, let's spend 2 of these to get out Salamander here. And then... Actually, let me use... it doesn't really matter, I suppose. I'll spend this 1 to play Besom. So this can pay a magical power to sacrifice Besom, put 1 card from the discard pile into your hand or on top of the deck. So, okay. There's that. Okay, so we've got Tannis there. And I think... I'm going to sacrifice the Salamander, and then in doing so, we're going to use the Mirror. So the Mirror will be sacrificed in place of it to get the 3 energy, the magical power, to play the Sacrificial Lamb. This will let us scrap for 3 or sacrifice for 2. And I think we're going to scrap both of these for the Devil and the Hearth, which will be scrap for 3 or sacrifice for 5. And I think that's all we're going to do. So this is, while the Grand Circle is in play, sacrifice any card that will be scrapped from play or discarded from your hand, preventing all abilities. So we have to be very, like when we're playing this, we have to be ready for the game to end. So I still need the Wand of Power to come out. So we're going to play that Tannist here. We're going to play this Wax Candle. And I think, what do I have in here? Don't really have anything in here that I kind of want, so we're going to wait a little bit on that. I think next turn we'll start. Well, I probably want to get stuff played though, because these are going to start going away. I've got 4 Tannis here, and I need 3 of them for the wand, and this is going to be one of the ones I use. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do is this one. We're going to spend this and this for the magical power to get Circle of Protection. We can sacrifice 1 artifact, interference, or Tanist. We're going to end our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's the card. We're going to get it next time, I guess. Okay, so we have Wand of Power. We're going to play this. So we have to sacrifice 3 Tannis, preventing all of their effects. So this gets sacrificed. This and this get sacrificed. Wand of Power is out. So we can scrap a card in play to sacrifice 1 other card in play with the same or lower magical power, and we take a damage. And it can be prevented. So we'll take a damage for doing that. That's going to help us kind of thin some stuff out. We'll pay this bowline. And I think while we're at it, let's scrap this. Oh no, sorry, sacrifice this for another salamander. It's going to yield us the same, but it's gone from the deck, so. And I think that's it. So we're going to draw here. We're going to add here. We're going to shuffle. Oh, and we got the other one too. So this is the first vigil, quad nomen mihi est, which I don't remember my Latin. This hour provides 1 magical power, and then it's at the end of this hour when the deck is depleted, add an interference card. So we've got our 2 interference cards. Usually we have to play them when they come up, but since we have 2, we have to use them. We have to do them both. This card must be summoned, and then it says, for this one, it says to only if this was in play, shuffle the discard pile. Only if this was in play, shuffle the discard pile into the deck and advance the hour. But it's not. Let me look at the thing. Only if this was in play, but it's not the only thing in play. It's Angel's Feather. There's a ton of like reference cards here. What is this, a 2? Yeah. Okay. If the feather is sacrificed from anywhere else from from play, then oh, if it's sacrificed, that's what happens. Okay, if it's sacrificed while it's in play, we're gonna shuffle the discard pile into the deck and advance the hour. Okay, we'll think about that one. This one has to come out when it's summoned, sacrifice it, and 1 other magical power if possible. Ooh. So we're going to play this. We have to sacrifice this and another magical power. I guess this is getting sacrificed, which is kind of a bummer because that was a lot that we lost, but that's okay. So we're kind of in a position now where we can start actually trying to summon Baphomet because the Grand Circle's here. We can sacrifice to get it out, and then we'll start discarding stuff every time. So I think let's try to do that. So first off, let's do this. We're going to go ahead, and I'm going to sacrifice this for the 6 and spend this and sacrifice this to play the Grand Circle. So the Grand Circle comes out and play, sacrifice any card that will be scrapped from play or discarded from your hand, preventing all sacrifice abilities. We are then going to I think what we'll have to do, because we have to get rid of this. Shuffle the discard pile into the deck and advance the hour. I take that as because when the deck's depleted, we have to add this to it and then shuffle, then advance the hour. But this is saying shuffle first and then advance the hour. So then I think this would come into the discard pile, and we would be only a card in our discard pile, I think. But I can sacrifice this to get rid of this. It would advance the hour, which we're going to do that. So we're going to do that. We're going to sacrifice this to get rid of this. And then in doing so, we would shuffle the deck, but there isn't anything there. put this in the discard pile. Because this specifically says, only if this was in play, shuffle the discard pile into the deck and advance the hour. At the end of this hour, so we're advancing the hour, when the deck is depleted, add this interference to the discard pile, then shuffle it into the deck. So I think I think I would probably do that. So it's 5 now, which we just skipped the whole hour, I guess, which may or may not have been a good thing. I don't know. Here is the wisdom: let him let him that hath understand count the number of beasts, for it is the number of man, and his number is 666. This hour provides magical power once. At the end of this hour, when the deck is depleted, shuffle the discard pile and make a new deck and turn the page. So I think we should be good here to do some stuff to kind of end the game. Oh yeah. So these get so we're advancing, so these are gone. Well, no, it just advanced the hour, but it didn't end our turn. So can these be played? I'm just going to end my turn instead of discarding these because of the grand circle they get put there. Okay. Oh, and there's Baphomet. So, I guess I don't know how this works out because I have to play him this turn. So, let's think about this for a moment. We'll play the wax candle. And ooh, because this is all that's needed to summon Baphomet, so we know we're good there. I'm trying to think here because we can choose 2 effects, discard, scrap a card, sacrifice a card from your hand, or draw a card. Let's sacrifice this for the 3. We're going to spend 2 for the Weeping Tree, 1 for Vitriol. The Weeping Tree is sacrifice it to do 2 different effects here. We can discard or scrap a card, sacrifice a card from our hand, gain 1 of the magical powers, or draw a card. So we're going to sacrifice this. We're going to draw a card. Ooh. This becomes summoned, and then it says when you take 1 or more damage, then sacrifice him. And we're gonna gain. I guess we'll sacrifice this card from our hand. So then I'm trying to think here how to play this out. We can scrap a card in play to get rid of something else. We'll take the damage, and then this will go away. And then we'll take another damage. Let's do this. So we'll scrap a wax candle, but since it's after hour 4, this gets sacrificed. You take Vitriol into your hand. We'll draw 2 cards, and at the end of this turn, everything is sacrificed instead of discarded. So we have a wax candle here. Because I'm trying to eliminate as much stuff as I can. So we'll spend this to play the Vitriol card. We're going to scrap this, which again will go here, to take this into our hand to draw 2 cards. We've got another wax candle and the Mother Shipton. We've got 2 cards in the deck. So this is I think this will work out. Let's do this ability here, which is to scrap a card in play to sacrifice one other card in play with the same or lower magical value. So we're going to scrap this card to sacrifice this card. But it's going to make me look at the top 3 and only have 2. So I don't want to do that. Actually, let's do this. Reverse. We're going to spend this for the 1 magical power to play this. And then we're going to scrap this, which again, because it's after hour 4, got sacrificed to return this to our hand. draw 2, and again, at the end of the turn, everything's going to go. But it's going to anyway because of the Grand Circle. We're going to play that. Yeah, I don't know. We will use the Wand of Power to scrap a card in play. So we'll scrap this card to get rid of this. We'll take a damage. And then when you take a 1 or more damage, sacrifice Assassin. And then when you sacrifice, we take a damage. So there's 2 damage there. And then I guess what we're going to do is we're going to summon Baphomet, because that's all we can do. So special sacrifice the Book of Pax, the Wand of Power, and the Grand Circle. When he's summoned, sacrifice all cards in play, preventing all of their 1 effects. Lose a point for each card sacrificed this way, and the ritual's over. So the ritual's complete. And we're going to go ahead and go here. This is the end. So Judgment. If there are any cards remaining in the deck, your hand or discard pile, you've lost. Okay, so I guess we lost. Lose 1 point for each, or score a point for each current hour, and then 2 points for each hour, other hour of the day remaining. Score a point for each health that you have still remaining. Subtract a point for each card. For each card that was still in play, and consequently destroy when Baphomet was summoned and instructed to. If your final score is negative, you've lost. Otherwise, you've won, and rank your scoring. So yeah, so that's it there. We summoned him, but we didn't really win because we had cards left here. So we kind of goofed that up. But that'll at least give you an idea how this game is played. That is Aleph Null. We summoned, like I said, the goat. Baphomet, the goat guy. Literally, he's a goat guy. That's why I say he's the goat. But yeah, that's going to be the first game for our little spooky season here. A little nice solo game. It's pretty quick, and I think if you were to get to know the cards more, you could really get a good understanding of like what to get rid of and kind of do stuff like that. And it's kind of, you've got this, it's, you know, it's pretty, you've got this puzzle of like, I have these set of cards that I have to configure in a way to deal with. But then you have all of these interference cards that really will change how stuff happens. And you've got up to these like level 3 difficulty ones. I think there's 4 of each. So you've got all kinds of these, which do kind of add a wrinkle in your puzzle. And then there's all these cards here that kind of give you, they're like, it's like an index sort of. But yeah, that's going to be it. We didn't win. We summoned Baphomet, but he took our soul or something, so we didn't quite win. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.